bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's good? Happy Monday. Good afternoon and welcome. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, the 100.7 The Score mobile app, and yours on the television, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, lots of ways to take us in. However you're doing so, we are glad you've chosen to make us part of your Monday afternoon. Alongside the one and only George Christopher Snead, I'm Chois Woodman. Clint Scott, back behind the glass, taking care of us. You can also hit us up if you'd like to. We welcome your thoughts, your comments, your questions, all of it there on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take the app anywhere with you. Even listen in if you're out in flippin' Georgia. Hey, yo, Sneeder.
What's up? What it do, y'all?
It do, baby.
Do what it do.
So, I really like this era of Texas Tech football the last 2 or 3 years. So we've got lots to get into, a big week ahead. It's an overreaction Monday. If you've got any overreactions, we welcome them on the chat line. But there's been a lot of firsts since this, first since that. First here and there. I mean, last 2 weeks ago, you had your first Big 12 shutout in 20 years. This weekend, you had your first win over K-State since 2015, first one up there since 2008.
Do you realize this is the first victory in my granddaughter's lifetime over K-State?
No. But I have 4 kids. One of them is 16.
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't won a game up there in Manhattan in his lifetime.
Yep.
He's a 16-year-old.
Yep.
It's been way too long, but thank goodness that one's out of the way.
Well, think about this. What is Tech's record versus Kansas State in the Big 12 era? It's like 4-18, isn't it? It's something ridiculous.
No, you had them. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad?
No. It's bad lately, but there were some bad K-State teams before.
At the beginning? No. Beginning of this era? No.
Let's see. Pulling it
When
up.
we started this in '96, they were pretty
goodness
good.
For old Winsipedia. 15-10 overall.
Yeah.
Take away the first 3 wins out of that.
You're 7-15 as of now.
7-15.
That's what I was at. Yeah.
That's not what you said. You said like 4-18.
Well, I missed it by 3 whole games.
No. That is a big difference.
That's not
7-15. That's 6 games.
Okay.
Six results is a big one. Either way, yes, your point is recognized.
So the point I was making I've been married to my lovely bride for 30 years. That means Texas Tech has only beaten Kansas State 7 times since I've been married to Susan. In the history of the Snead marriage.
Well, and those were the 7 happiest days of your life.
Were they, though?
Yes.
Were they, though?
That you made sure to tell the missus that.
Were they?
So we will obviously talk Red Raiders, Kansas State. We
can talk soccer.
We could talk soccer that's going on right now. 1-0 Texas Tech leads over Baylor at the Big 12 Championships. We could talk about World Series if you want to. That was a heck of a World Series.
Doozy.
We'll get into basketball if you want to. Lady Raiders start up tonight. Red Raiders start up tomorrow. So lots to get into. But, man, it has been largely the same blueprint for Texas Tech football and Big 12 play. You've got a lot of teams that can hang with you for a little bit. And then the biggest difference in this year compared to your first 3 years of the Joey McGuire era is you have a team that goes for the kill shot. You have a team that puts the foot on the throat and eliminates teams late in the third and in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's a going for the jugular.
And that's a huge difference because you've got some games that have been close through 2 quarters, through 3 quarters, but it seems like when that fourth quarter hits, you flex on them.
Yeah, you have to. And that's the depth. And I think there's teams that, Arizona State was able to have that sports luck and that stuff happen to them for 4 quarters. Kansas State just ran out of sports luck. And they had a couple of bounces their way. And, Avery Johnson got – Avery. I don't call him Avery Johnson.
No, that's his name.
That's his name, isn't it?
Well, wait.
No, there used to be.
I was thinking of the basketball coach
and player.
Yeah, and he got loose a couple times.
Former San Antonio Spur Avery Johnson.
Yeah, and he got loose a couple times. And but if I don't have to hear Robert Griffin III say another word about anything ever, that'll be too soon.
He's gotten pretty complimentary of the Red Raiders this year.
He got complimentary after he was.
Well, I mean, he's trying. I agree. He's trying to put Rodriguez and Bailey in the Heisman conversation.
Yeah, but when they got the lead, it was like he turned on his K-State spout, his K-State spigot, and he's just going to let it flow. So
disgusting horse name, K-State spigot.
Snead, where was the flag for offsides right there? I mean, come on.
I don't know. I'm not a soccer official.
Well, you should be.
I'm not.
You could do better than these guys, apparently.
Okay.
That didn't take long.
Hey, I'm gonna stop you right now.
Oh boy.
If you're at some point says, hey, Snead's there, I'm gonna ask him, what did you think about it? I'm not gonna give an opinion on any of those.
But you can ask me if you want to, because I'll give an opinion on how replay needs to freaking be better.
Over 2 on Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. Stupid. Like just
no wait, one for 3. I forgot about the fumble that you did get that they looked at.
Oh, I forgot they looked at it. Yeah, but so replay. Get it right. You get to slow it down. There's clear and convincing. Or not. All right. Y'all take your
The terminology is indisputable video evidence.
Be honest, if for some reason you had lost that game, would that have been a bigger point today?
No, because it resulted in a touchdown. That one. The other one was I don't remember what happened after the non fumble. So I don't think it would be a bigger deal. So now you're on the other side of this, Snead. We talked about 2 games being massive here. Mm-hmm. K-State, BYU, and this one has grown even larger than I think we would have anticipated. Because Texas Tech moves up to 9. We get our first college football playoff rankings tomorrow.
And
the streak is over.
The streak is over, my friends. Hey, give me some of that.
Finally. We're in.
I want to quit saying Texas Tech's the only school that never appeared in the current football playoff.
Pardon me, what?
Okay. I know. I want to hear that again.
Yeah, you will. No, it is nice. That streak is going to be over. You're going to not just be...
You're going to be highly ranked in that thing.
Not just going to be a top 25 college football playoff team. You will be a top 10 team.
Yep, and you will be on the list of teams hosting.
I think so.
And that projection, you'll probably be in that list of teams hosting.
Because one thing they use is the analytics, and the analytics love the Red Raiders this year.
Yep.
Because you beat the snot out of everybody.
They sure do.
Except for one.
Well, when you win big. When you lose close.
Fortunately, there hadn't been much losing.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
On we roll. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Powered by Happy State Bank. We're watchable on television. Fox 34 News now, or you probably just saw Chris Snead in his Tyler Shuck jersey. But now you see the soft-featured face of Jamie Lent. To my right, I'm Chois Woodman. Brennan Riker across the way taking care of us. Y'all hit us up. if you'd like to. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions. More than welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. You can carry it anywhere with you. Even listen in if you are out in Funkstown, Maryland. Jamie?
Yes, Choice.
How do you do?
I do great.
It's great. I was hoping you'd be doing great.
It's good.
Ladies, Red Raider soccer team, you look like a female. Not doing as great as they were just a little bit ago. In between that last segment and this one, they surrendered a goal to
Getting
the
plenty
Bears.
of shots on goal here.
They are, which is good. 1-1 draw. It's not a draw right now. Can't be a draw in the Big 12 tournament.
See what happens when you try to use soccer terms,
I know,
Choice?
it screws you up.
Yep.
It's tied at 1-1. That's easier. With 29 minutes to go at the Big 12 tournament, winner gets to play most likely the top seed in TCU. TCU and 8 seed Baylor. No, BYU. I think I've said 3 things wrong in like 3 minutes, so I'm going for a record today.
All good.
Jamie, we've been talking a lot about Red Raider football, not
That's
surprisingly.
good. A lot to talk about.
On the chat line, someone says it's possible that LJ Martin will be out for this game. Yes, it is. He got hurt in the Iowa State game. There's chatter and rumors that he's out for the season. There's talk that he'll be back this week. So I guess we just wait until the injury report comes out this week. The running back, I think he was once committed to Texas Tech, if I remember correctly.
Seem to think that sounds familiar.
He's from El Paso, LJ Martin is. But someone else said, I agree with Snead. BYU has played all the bottom half of the conference. They don't scare me, but we shouldn't take them lightly.
I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm scared.
You were last week, too.
I am just really surprised the line is 10.5.
I said this just a little bit ago, but I think that is purely Vegas covering their butts at this point. Because they have lost money on Texas Tech because Texas Tech has covered 8 out of 9 spreads this year. So I think they're making the line large. Like, I don't know if this is how it works, but I think they're making it larger than they probably think it should be. If it's supposed to be a 7-point line, they're making it a 10-point line because Tech keeps covering these spreads by a lot. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That may be just a stupid thing to say because I don't know enough about how the Sharks out in Vegas work, but it's...
Yeah, that's good. Good smoke screen there, Choice. Really done. Well done. It's very smart of you.
What's the smoke screen? What are you talking about? I don't. I don't know how all the line making works, but yeah, 10 was a big number. I think I told you a week ago that I expected it to be around 7.5, but that's a big number for a team that hasn't lost a football game all year.
I know, absolutely.
So, someone says, what's crazy is it still feels like Tech is leaving some out there and still winning these games by 3+ touchdowns. I mean, you definitely came out of the gate slow on offense.
Yeah, your offense couldn't get out of their own way early on in the game, whether it be drops, penalties, turnover, and it just kept it allowed Kansas State to keep it close until you finished the half strong, which you really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in taking some momentum away, and I think you definitely did that at the end of the first half, and then on to the second half. But it always scares you a little bit when you say, oh, man, because we've seen that a little bit this season where you haven't gotten off to great starts or it's been close for a little while, but then you just wear teams down. And the great part about it is in previous years, you start slow offensively and you get yourself down by 10 or 14 points. You start slow offensively now, and you still have a chance to take the lead by halftime because your defense is holding teams down.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's – I think when you look at this, the slow start offensively on Saturday, it felt like it was going to be another one of those days in Manhattan. It just kind of had that feeling.
Hey, you just worried that you were going to beat yourself.
And then Avery Johnson breaks off for a 40-yard touchdown run, and it's just like, okay, here we go. We've seen this story a million times. But then your defense settles in nicely, as we've seen so often, and gives your offense time to catch up in the game. And they did.
Make some adjustments, do something different.
And I don't know. I think it was a combination of things. Obviously, you're shooting yourself in the foot with 3 pretty early penalties. You had Behren Morton that might have been a little rusty early in the game. You had
a drop by Chois Woodman.
That
was huge on the first drive.
And I don't know. And I think, honestly, Mac Leftwich is sometimes feeling these games out a little bit early in the games where you're figuring out, okay, this is what they're playing. This is what we're going to do, because you obviously did make those adjustments, and the offense got a lot better, and you were able to run the football between the tackles this week, which really helped your offense out a whole lot. That was maybe besides the 5 turnovers, the most pleasing thing I take away from this game is getting your running backs going again.
Yeah, I still feel like the majority of your running and you got going a little bit between the tackles. I feel like sometimes Coach Leftwich thinks that we're a great smash mouth football team, and I don't think we are per se. I think we're good at a lot of different things. I don't think we're great at that. When that worked was after you opened things up. You were getting the ball to the outside more, and suddenly that forced their defense to adjust and, spread to the outside, and then it opened things up for you. I think you used the pass to set up the run in this game, and early on in the game, it felt like there was a lot of straight up the middle with the run game. And again, I don't think that's when we're at our best in the run game. We've seen some big plays hit on that, like, for example, the first play of the game against Kansas, right? It was straight up the middle, but that was also one of the worst rush defenses in the country.
Yeah, this one wasn't a great rush defense. They were, I think, 83rd coming in, and one of your bigger plays, your biggest run of the game, Jacoby Williams, was up the middle, and he's able to break it, and he's able to go through and turn on the Jets after he breaks a couple of tackles.
Seems like that was to the right side.
No, that was straight off right guard, if I remember correctly. It was to the right side, but I think we'll watch the replay. I could be misremembering, but
I mean, he was, when he pushed the defensive back out of his way, which was the best part of the run. He was definitely outside the tackle.
Yeah, he was. I think that was after he went through. Well, either way, you ran the football well, and that's what I did like seeing once again.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Monday afternoon on the Bottom Line. 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Okay, you win. Jamie was right. It was a more end-around run. I was thinking of a different one that Jacoby didn't score on. There are several thoughts on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Someone says, I bet the line will close around 6. Okay.
Ooh, that'd be a big drop.
It would be. I don't think I agree with you, because usually you see pretty quick movement.
That would have to do with like an injury or something, right?
Yeah, typically. If a line's going to move, if you see the public against the line, you'll see it move quickly in the first 24 hours, or, like you said, an injury. So I don't think it'll end up at 6. I think it'll end up inside of 10, though. But who knows? We'll see. Again, one thing that bettors,
I'm excited that they have that much confidence in us.
Yeah, one thing that bettors watch for is trends, and Texas Tech, again, has been a trendy team to bet on. So I don't know if it'll...
They're not dummies, so that's good.
What is more likely, Tech getting a top 4 seed or Texas making the playoffs? Texas making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think at this point, a lot would have to happen for you to get inside that top 4. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, because I've seen some projections already this week that have Texas Tech as a top 4 seed. I'm going to change my answer. I don't believe Texas is that good of a football team. And they get one more loss, which they play at Georgia, I think, next week.
Okay.
Then they're out. 9-3 Texas is not getting in this year, even with their brand.
Feels like they've played so many close games and somehow been able to win these games, and some of them against not great teams.
Yeah.
Yet they are still making big-time progress in the polls.
Do you remember that Oklahoma State team of, what year was that? 2015, 16? Maybe, I don't remember the year. But it just felt like they kept winning all these close games, kept winning ugly. They never looked like a good team. I think they started out 10-0, but it never felt real. And so many people doubted them. I think they lost the last 2, ended up 10-2. But this Texas team kind of reminds me of that. They find a way to get it done really ugly. It's basically the opposite of what Texas Tech is doing. Except, I mean, you're winning games by blowouts almost every time. I don't think Texas is going to win at Georgia, so I think that eliminates them.
You're probably right.
Jamie, we get a college football playoff ranking tomorrow.
I wish they waited a week.
Just for why?
I just want us to get past this BYU game before we start.
Well, they had this scheduled.
Before we start getting really happy.
It's always the first Tuesday in November.
Yeah, I don't want it as a distraction for our team.
I think you will be higher than 9 in this ranking.
I think I said this morning anywhere from like 9 to 11 wouldn't surprise me, but I would probably agree with 8.
If you listen to the Ask Level podcast, it's been posted this week. Chris Level predicted 6.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it is these metrics that they're using nowadays. They use these supplemental, I guess, just the metrics. They use different things to help with the process of ranking.
Yeah,
and Texas Tech looks really good in all
and you'd be 6, and if you lost to BYU, you would suddenly be 17.
Yeah, you drop heavily. You would. But I think that these computers, these analytics, they love Texas Tech, partially because you're blowing everybody out. But you also have a top 10 offense, a top 10 defense. You look the part up to this point. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if you were pretty high in those rankings, but we'll see. I think someone says Inborn has Tech at 5 tomorrow. Who's Inborn?
No.
Don't know. Texas has struggled to beat poor teams, someone said. Let's not fall for what BYU players are injured. It's just a mental play. Forget it. BYU doesn't play the whole injury report game like their counterparts up north.
Well, so far they haven't said anything. It's not BYU that's reporting it.
Like LJ Martin left the Iowa State game with a shoulder injury, so that's the only injury stuff we're talking about. What's I stated that running the football was what I really liked out of the Kansas State game. Outside of finally getting a win in Manhattan, what was your favorite part of it?
Man, I love your defense forcing 5 turnovers. I loved. I just think we're so different. We're so much more versatile on offense with Behren at quarterback. So I loved having him back and feeling like you have a quarterback that has the experience and know how to get us into the right plays, and when the pocket breaks down and things are, like the touchdown pass to Caleb Douglas, the first one. Yeah. He's able to get out of the pocket, not panic, and make a good throw. And there was another one. I'm trying to think. It was to Terrence Carter where he got out of the pocket.
He rolls to his right.
All right, yeah.
And Carter kind of comes back
inside.
Yeah,
and it's plays like that I just don't think we were necessarily capable of with the other guys in there. And so it was nice to feel good, even though the offense early on had some, there were definitely some struggles there. It was nice to see and feel like our offense had the ability to click and put up big numbers once you got going.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think your offense just does have a different feel. Again, it was a slow start, but I don't
know if that's the guys having so much more confidence in Behren, or just, again, that Behren, because he's the leader, everybody's more calm, or it's, again, he's able to check at the line of scrimmage. I think he's able to read defenses better. I just feel like everybody's more confident when he's out there.
I think there are guys that just have a leadership factor. And, again, we're talking about a freshman and a senior, too. Like, there's things you develop and grow over your time in college. Sure. So I think there's those traits that you learn as a quarterback specifically.
There's nothing that beats experience.
Yeah.
I guess pure talent does, but experience is massive. It's huge.
Experience is something that can't be replicated. That's the thing. Like, you can have pure talent. If it's raw, it still takes some time to work in. And I think your backup quarterback does have pure talent. I think he's got some good talent. But I think this team is built right now for Behren Morton to be its leader. And that's the scary thing. If he goes down again, it gets scary because we've seen that. But you just saw a different team out there. And it does feel like, you said this with Snead, Jamie, but it feels like your biggest difference to me in your last 3 years leading up to this year is just your ability to put the foot on the throat. The ability to close out games is so much different because we played in a ton of one-score games over the last 3 years, and it's been the opposite of that this year.
I don't disagree that I think that's huge. I think the biggest difference is that you have an elite defense.
You have that too.
Yes.
Well, I think
that's the biggest
defense
difference.
Allows you to close out games.
Absolutely,
because,
it does.
I mean,
it's a big factor.
We see a massive fumble by Cam Dickey when you're still in a 9-point game. Dickey fumbles at midfield right after you get a 3 and out or a 4 and out. You get a turnover on downs at midfield, and then Dickey fumbles it away. What does your defense do? They force another 4 and out right there.
Gets it back for you.
So, yeah, defense is what allows you to do that for sure. It just feels so different. I don't remember the Spike Dykes days very much. I know there's plenty of Tech fans that do, but this just feels so foreign to me to be.
It was great to have a defense, but you felt like if they gave up like 14, oh boy, you had no chance to win.
It's just such a foreign feeling for me as a Tech fan to. Man, this is fun to play defense and play at a high level.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Monday afternoon. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Choice, Jamie, Brennan with you this afternoon. Hang until 3 o'clock. On 100.7 The Score. Right now, a question by Jamie.
Wait, from Jamie?
No, it's from you.
Okay.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
You had me worried there for a minute, Woodman.
That was a balk by me. I'm sorry. You can move over a base.
Misdirection play. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
I was never good at reading those. Okay. My question of the day is, which Texas Tech football position group has exceeded your expectations so far this season, and which group has not met your expectations?
Exceeded and not. I think it's crazy. But I think the defensive line has exceeded my expectations, even though I thought it was going to be really good. I thought, hey, you've got a really good defensive line. I didn't expect you to be necessarily top 3 in the country type of good. I thought you'd be top 15, maybe. I didn't think you would dominate to the level that you have dominated and be a big reason why you're putting games away. So defensive line is the one that's gone even over what I thought before the season. I think the one that has not met expectations quite as well as I thought would be there's a coin toss between two. I'm going to let Jamie answer, and then I may be opposite of him.
I mean, you remember how this whole, building this team together came about. It was about the offensive line.
Correct. The whole I will thing, yeah.
And so I would tell you the offensive line, but I also would tell you the quarterback position.
Okay.
I expected Behren Morton to be looking at being one of the top 3 quarterbacks numbers-wise in the conference, and because he has missed so much time. And then I would tell you the up and downness of your backup quarterback, and there I would say that was below my expectations. So
up and downness, horse name.
Up and downness. So I'm going to say the quarterback position. When Beren's healthy and in there, I think he's been very good. But I don't, because of him missing as much time as he has, I would say he hasn't hit my expectations because I thought he was going to be a top 3 quarterback in the league. Now, on game-to-game basis, he might be, but if you're going over the numbers of, guys this year, I don't know, we'd have to look at it, but position groups that have exceeded expectations. Defensive line, I'm with you, Choice. I would definitely say defensive line. Linebackers, I think all 3 of them are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I've said many times before, after Quentin Joyner was hurt, there's a reason that they went out and got Quentin Joyner when they had these 2 guys returning. Yeah. Because they felt like they needed it. They needed him. Right?
Yeah.
You didn't bring him in to be 3rd string.
No, you didn't. You
brought him in to be the starter. These 2 running backs have exceeded how good I thought they were going to be.
And I would guess that
I think they've been great.
I would guess they've exceeded expectations inside that building too. Not as they didn't think they would do it, but I think part of the reason they did that was because of the youth. I mean, these 2 are young running backs. But.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, but Joyner's only 1 year in front of him. But he had more. Yeah, he had more reps. No question. No question. He was more proven.
Yes.
Can we say that? He's more proven.
Up to that point for sure.
But like as we sit here today, are any of us going, man, if you only had Quentin Joyner?
I'd love to know the answer to that question.
I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I am not.
No, I would love to know the answer to that question, Brennan's question, inside that building.
Yeah, no question.
Because I think running back would probably be it.
I think that those 2 have been great. And maybe if you were just putting it on one guy, you could be but it's like it's gone not every other game, but it feels like, hey, one of them is big.
Sure.
And not just in the run game, but in the pass game too, they've been good.
You got 2 guys over 500 yards this year.
I think they both do good in pass protection. Mm-hmm. So I'm high on those 2. I really am. And I mean, again, I don't feel like we're missing Quentin Joyner.
No, and that's no shot at Quentin Joyner.
That's right. I'm not saying he wouldn't help or whatever, but these 2 have been great.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, again, they're making huge plays for you.
And isn't it crazy that we're talking about running backs the defensive line and the linebackers because we all thought they were going to be good.
Yeah, we thought they were going to be good.
Gosh, I might have just stopped at rush ends. Man, those 2 are phenomenal. It is so much fun to have guys like that.
I'll settle in on mine being offensive line. I think because of what you said, I don't think it's been a bad offensive line this year. I don't think it has. I think you are quite a bit better than you were last year. I'm very confident that you're quite a bit better than you were last year. I still think there's inconsistencies there. I still, like you talked about,
the penalties just make you want to murder someone.
Yes. But I think because of how good you are all over the field elsewhere, it does make your offensive line look more average. So I would put it.
Or it makes up for the fact that they're average.
Yeah. Brennan?
Yeah, for me, I got to go with a position group that has exceeded my expectations were the running backs. Because when we did get the news that Quentin Joyner was out, I thought, okay, this will be an okay running back group, but I didn't think it would be something that we could lean on to not be so one-dimensional. And really, throughout Big 12 play, the running backs have been very impressive, given the fact that you don't have Quentin Joyner. And then for a position group that has not met my expectations, it's the offensive line. I think, and it's not just about protecting the quarterback. They haven't been dominant. They haven't enforced their will on someone else's defensive line, just in a sense where you can see it on the field.
Kansas.
They
maybe
have.
outside of that.
Yeah.
Maybe outside of Kansas.
Yeah.
And I also think your offensive line kind of hurts your running backs in the sense that there's not much of a, inside run game. Everything has to be outside the tackles, and I think that hurts just how good it doesn't help your running backs. Because when the running backs get their gaps on inside runs, they can get to the second level in a hurry.
Mm-hmm. I think they both have shown the ability to run between the tackles with their power. I mean, and the shiftiness and just pure breakaway speed. I mean, all of it. I think they've shown all of those things.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is that time. Tell me I'm wrong. Part of the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Choice, Jamie, Brennan, yours from the First United Bank studio. Still tied in the PKs, but Tech finally missed one in the sudden death. Baylor's got a shot at winning it right now and chipped it in. So Baylor won. And they used their keeper to do it, too.
Oh, that's impressive.
They just used their keeper on the final PK. Dang it.
That's not ideal.
So Tech's out of the Big 12 tournament. Kind of rough when you lose your best offensive player
I'm sure that doesn't help.
earlier in the game. So, all right, Jamie, what do you got for us today?
All right, so tell me I'm wrong today, guys. The worst kind of friend is the friend that you have that when you're watching a game and a big play is about to happen and he grabs the remote and tries to do something with the television and the television won't come back on and you miss the big play. Tell me I'm wrong.
That is the absolute worst friend. It absolutely is. You're not wrong. I don't know who you're talking about, but that guy needs to be tarred and feathered. Look at the TV. I blame ESPN. That's what I'm going to blame. Because they're causing all sorts of issues.
We were not losing until you did that.
You're not wrong.
The Woodman jinx is alive.
Stop it. We don't need to start that up this week.
Okay.
Because I'm definitely going to pick
Don't make me get that paddle out again.
Texas Tech. Dang it. I hated that. I had never cared so much about soccer PKs as I did right then.
Okay, so here's the second one. When you take a look at the Red Raider defense and the individual players, even though Jacob Rodriguez is probably third on the list as far as draft ranks go, he still is your best and most important defensive player.
I think you are wrong.
Okay.
I think you're half wrong, because I do think he is still your best defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say that he's not your most important, because he is legitimately, like, he's in Zach Thomas territory right now. I thought people compared him at the beginning of the year. Right now, they are as fair as they could ever be, the comparisons between Jacob Rodriguez and Zach Thomas, and he may be edging him out in some of the stuff we've seen. So I think he is your best player. I think your defense would take a bigger shot without a David Bailey and possibly a Romello Height rushing the passer, because you have the luxury of 3 really good linebackers, interior linebackers, and only 2 of them play that position at a time. So that's where I think you're wrong. I think you're part right, but I think it would hurt the team more if you lose one of those edge rushers. Because John Curry, we saw how darn good he was on Saturday. Ben Roberts, we saw how good he was on Saturday. This was your best collective day for those 3 together in a season, and I would hate to see a day without Jacob Rodriguez, but I think I would hate to see it without David Bailey as well. It's a really tough one, though.
It is, because whenever you mention Jacob Rodriguez, Romello Height, David Bailey, and even Lee Hunter, I think of the word disruptive. Like, those guys are important to your defense because of how disruptive they are, whether it's getting to the quarterback, forcing turnovers, getting tackle for losses, whatever the case may be. But, Jamie, I'm going to say you're right, because I think Rodriguez is just kind of, he encompasses that all. Like, he's everything put together that you want in your linebacker, and not just getting the tackles, forcing turnovers, and just making spectacular plays on defense. I mean, he's out there leading the defense. He's so valuable and important to this defense that, yes, you have good linebackers and, Ben Roberts, and then the star John Curry, however you want to put that. But if you were to take Jacob Rodriguez away from this defense, I don't know if it's quite the same. It might be still disruptive in the sense of you still have Romello, you still have Hunter, and you still have Bailey, but I just don't think it's the same without Jacob Rodriguez. And there's a reason why people want to vote for him, like the fans want him to be in contention for the Heisman Trophy. And that's just something that doesn't happen in this day and age, to have a defensive player like that be in that running.
No, you have Jacob Rodriguez's numbers are better than Manti Te'o's numbers the year he got second in the Heisman voting. And he's been phenomenal. But I also think if Ben Roberts and John Curry were your starting interior linebackers, I think they would be all Big 12 level.
Here's what I can buy into, Choice. You have great backers alongside of him that could possibly fill in for him.
Possibly, yes.
But his big play ability.
You're right.
Him causing turnovers or him intercepting passes. I just don't know that. I do think those linebackers are good. I just don't think they have that skill set that he does. That is a gift. That is something he clearly works hard at. I mean, those 2 linebackers are making tackles all over the field. I don't see them forcing the amount of turnovers that Jacob Rodriguez is.
I don't. Roberts has forced quite a few this year as well. The one that was not the fumble that was overturned stupidly. Like, there was enough evidence on that one, but there wasn't enough evidence like you can overturn that, but there wasn't enough evidence for Caleb Douglas. I'm still baffled by some of that replay stuff, but I think you still have enough big playability out of those guys that I don't feel strong or convicted in my argument very, very much at all, because you're right. How can I sit here and say that Jacob Rodriguez is Heisman level and should be in those conversations, and you don't take a big hit by losing a Heisman candidate off the field? So, but I think it also just illustrates how absolutely phenomenal you are in so many of those defensive positions. You know, in Brennan's question earlier, the group we didn't mention that deserved to be mentioned was your defensive backs this year. I think they've been better than I would have imagined. You're coming off of a season where you're 130th in the country in pass defense, and you've got guys that have been more than solid back there. So I think Jacob Rodriguez is a phenomenal football player, but he, like everyone on this defense, is benefiting from the cohesion of the defensive unit and how good the pieces are around you. Because your defensive line, one thing we've learned about linebackers is they don't get to rack up those tackles if you don't have a good defensive line in front.
Right.
And I think they've done a great job. So everything you said I agree with. I still think you'd take a pretty big hit if you don't have the pass rush that you've had this year. And it feels like, you know, we're so used to running backs kind of controlling a game down the stretch, or a good offensive line controlling the game down a stretch, where they get stronger and stronger as the game goes along. I don't know that I've ever seen what your defensive line has done. It feels like your pass rush has gotten stronger down the stretch of games, where
Late
it's
games.
getting
tougher.
Yeah,
and I wonder if that's a little bit because offensive linemen are worn out.
Possibly, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Avery Johnson was worn out on Saturday. He's huffing and puffing at the end of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, you're getting
you were chasing
high
him
motors
all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
and catching him sometimes.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.